Once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward, for there you have been, and there you will always long to return. It's a dream as old as mankind itself, the dream to fly. But what if you wake up in Ukraine? What if you realize it's not a dream, it's war? And while you soar through the air, living the life you dreamed of as a child, the Russian army is there, hunting you, trying to shoot you out of the sky and make you crash on the very soil that you are trying to protect.
It's 5 in the morning and these helicopters behind me are getting ready to fly on a combat mission. We have two Mi-24s delivered by the Czech Republic, loaded with Hydra 7 rockets, and here's this Mi-8 Ukrainian helicopter which flies with the retranslator. We're going to spend the next days with the Ukrainian helicopter pilots and with the engineers and technicians that keep these planes alive. We're going to speak to the guys, find out why they do this job, what motivates them, and how it feels to do something like that in combat. That's it, right? That's what we'll do. That's loud!
There is no fixed schedule for a helicopter pilot and his crew. When they are called for battle, no matter the task, no matter the risk, they will take off.
Currently, I have 77 combat missions as a pilot and as a crew commander.
More than 100, for sure.
More than 150.
I spend every day as if it could be my last. The great danger is to perform tasks when the enemy aviation is watching. Always have to be prepared. When there are enemy drones, and you don't know whose are whose, of course we have some clues, but still, it's a big risk. Therefore, you, performing the combat task, must be alert to successfully complete a mission and return safely, both for the sake of the crew and your own life.
Back then, there wasn't so much intelligence data, and the situations were very dangerous. You'd be carrying out a flight mission, expecting the enemy in 3 to 4 minutes. You take off and suddenly see those convoys right beneath you, and they start firing at you with small arms.
To fly a helicopter, you need excellent eyesight, excellent health, and amazing coordination, as it requires both hands and both feet.
So, after we board the helicopter, we fasten the seatbelts, connect the intercom plug to be able to hear other crew members and external sources. We check the position of all control levers to make sure everything is in the default position before engines start. We unlock the main rotor, and basically everything is good. We can begin. Then we give the command to the flight technician to start the ground power unit, GPU. After we hear a signal from the GPU operator about successful startup, we check the voltage provided by the external power source. Everything is correct. Next, we turn on the batteries. Battery, external power supply. At 750, we switch on the right circuit breaker and turn off the anti-icing system, since we're flying in summer and it's not needed. We turn on the left circuit breaker, then we turn on the flight data monitoring system. We call it BUR. From this moment, the flight recorder starts recording everything we do. We go through the checklist aloud. Battery left, right, network to battery, external power supply at 750, right circuit breaker, BUR, BUR, SPU, 1-2, left circuit breaker, recorder. We turn on the fire protection system, pumps 2, 1, 5, 4. Separate fire valves. Then we turn on the beacon and give the command to the technician to start A19. We check that the panel is in the start position. Set the stopwatch to 0. Press the start button. Start the stopwatch. The green indicator lights up. Automation active. Oil pressure normal at 9 seconds. Gas temperature rising. Voltage drop within norms. AI9 RPM normal at 16 seconds. We monitor the end of automation by the green light turning off. Automation ends at 30 seconds. Now we can turn on the STG3 generator and disconnect the external power source. We give the command to the technician to disconnect the GPU. Start the stopwatch. 1 minute to warm up A19. Make sure the GPU left the main rotor area. After a minute, we give the command to spin the left engine. On the control panel, select Spin mode. Stopwatch to 0. Press the start button. Start the stopwatch. Automation off. Starter operating. Compressor speed increasing. Rotor blades start moving. Spinning is done before startup to blow out excess fuel that could have built up in the combustion chamber before the first flight or after the previous day.
Drones have changed the way these machines operate. Due to Russian drone terror, pilots don't only fly missions on the front line, they also protect cities from nightly attacks.
Since war is changing, also the use of helicopters are changing. We want to speak with the pilots later a little bit more about this. But one of the biggest threats now for helicopters, what the guy says, are drones. But also one of the targets for helicopters are drones. And as you can see here, they painted on the side of the helicopter all the drones that they've shot down. Girans or Shaheds, as they're commonly called, an Orlan, which is a Russian reconnaissance drone, and the Sturman, the co-pilot, or the gunner, I guess one would call, he sits here in the front, and he uses this gun when they go to hunt drones. You can actually, as the mechanic told us, you can also put guns on the side. There's a small window, like a Luca, you can open and fix a gun, but this is the main weapon, board cannon, I guess one could call it. And the ammunition, it's empty now. The ammunition for that goes here in this panel on the side.
The saying goes, pilots are handsome and engineers are smart. Indeed, a large crew is required to keep these helicopters in the air.
So the guys have just returned from the combat mission. The third helicopter has just landed. And while one part of flying a helicopter is the part that we all romanticize and know, you know, being in the air, the life of a pilot, the other part is actually a lot of hard work. And it is done in large parts by this young man up here, the board mechanic that also flies with them
in the helicopter on combat missions. However, he arrives here on the field before the pilots arrive, and after they have already left, he stays. His job is unbelievably complex and unbelievably important, and we don't know so much about it. So in a second, when he's done up there at the palm tree, as he calls it, cleaning and doing whatever, maintaining, he will give us a quick tour of the helicopter, of his work, of his responsibilities, and we'll share that with you. While pilots fly various helicopters, the engineer stays with one machine. He knows every cable, every screw, every nook and cranny. Together, they are body and soul.
Right leg?
Right leg туда левую, да.
Туда левую.
Вот.
Тут?
Теперь вот следующая, пожалуйста.
Ага. Alright.
Все, и ставь. Вот эту сюда, на кабину.
Okay.
И вот, видишь, вот подножка еще.
Ага.
Там бери за что тебе удобнее.
This,
Можно,
да?
да, за это брать.
Okay. And now we're on the helicopter.
Right side, left side.
Okay.
This is the heart of the helicopter.
The heart of the helicopter, yeah?
2 engines, as I showed in the morning. These go further to the main gearbox. Everything depends on it. There's something called the nut of life. If it breaks, that's it. That's why it's also called the Jesus nut. It must be retightened during scheduled maintenance. This is an auxiliary power unit, so-called AI-9.
Yeah? On here?
AI-9 starts the engines through a side shaft. First, it starts itself. Then, it spins the engines, which spin the gearbox. A complex system.
Well, I don't know, it looks very complicated. Is it very complicated?
Very uncomfortable. Some places you can work from above, that's still okay. But there are places where you have to crawl in, twist bolts and nuts. Very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. How many hours do you spend on the helicopter?
On the ground, 1 hour before the flight. 1 to 1.5 hours. That's pre-flight prep. Post-flight prep is about 2 hours. Refueling, wiping, cleaning, checking. This wire here, it's called a safety wire. It might have snapped somewhere, so you fix it. Maybe oil is leaking, top it up. Or the temperature changed, the oil rose to the surface. You drain it. Sometimes I just come during my free time, do something. Clean, sweep, wash windows, stuff like that. Just to keep busy.
What's your favorite part about the job?
Honestly, I love every single part of it.
Why am I asking? Because I understand why people become pilot. You know, it's a panyana, but why does someone become board mechanic? Because you have the same danger, same opasnost.
Yes, I fly with them on combat missions. It's a high responsibility. I observe. They see through mirrors and windows, but I have a better view of the helicopter sides. I can see the entire left and right hemispheres, while their view is more limited.
Alright.
Okay, alright. Don't film for a second. I'm gonna clean, okay?
Da. He's a very nice guy. He wants to clean the helicopter a little bit before we go inside. Which is someone who flies to war every day. It's cute.
So my workplace, it's over there. The flight technician station. You have to crawl in to see it.
You, welcome.
I'm welcome? Alright, thank you.
Head, careful head.
Yeah, careful head. And you sit here on the right, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, right behind the pilot. You see the instrument panel. You can visually monitor things. With your hands, you can turn on the air conditioner, fan, that kind of stuff. Minimal tasks. Most instruments are up front. Your job is to tell the pilot if there's any deviation in temperature or pressure. That's the most you can do. You don't do much with your hands directly.
You don't, how, do you get scared?
During combat? Well, I'm used to it now. But still, every time there's this feeling, like everything is fine, but as you get closer, 5 minutes, 10 kilometers away from the combat zone, when the operator starts counting distance, it gets stressful, stressful, stressful. And then when you shoot, you turn back and go. Thank God. This time it went well, like last time, and I hope it's always like that. Get used to everything. The first time, yeah, it was scary. The guys looked at me and said, "What's with you? Sore ghost?" My eyes were wide, my emotions were all mixed up. It wasn't even purely fear, it was also shock. My first combat mission was in 2023. I don't know, I landed on the ground, just stunned. The guys were like, "Wake up, bro, what's with you?" The emotions were overwhelming.
How old were you when you do your first combat mission?
How old was I? 24. 24 years old, yeah.
Comfortable.
Yes,
on the ground it's comfortable, but if I think that we're going to fight somewhere, then I think it's pretty scary. It's small.
It shakes like crazy, up and down. You sit for 2 hours here, and yeah, your back starts to hurt a bit. But yeah, it's all right.
Supporting the flight engineer are the ground crew, who specialize in engines, electronics, and weapon systems.
Since I work with radio-electronic equipment every day during helicopter maintenance, we service the onboard systems related to radio communication, navigation, and other special equipment. Thanks to our partners, we recently got Harris equipment on board, which gives us major advantages, such as simple encrypted communication. Finally, our enemy can no longer hear us over the radio, and that's a good thing.
We load the unguided aerial missiles. We also equip and re-equip the rocket blocks. We load machine guns.
Why is it important? So that our pilots feel safe as much as it's possible. That they do not think about the state of the equipment because they have other things to worry about. So that the equipment works and performs its combat tasks. Because without specialists on the ground, they will not just take off into the sky.
Away from home for months on end, these men sacrifice everything for their country. But what motivates them is different for each one.
They attacked our country, and our people are dying. And not only combatants, but also civilians. Don't want to sound banal, but behind our backs are also our families. If we don't do our job and do it well, then war can come to us at home.
My motivation is that I have a son now. He's 6 months old. Also, for my wife and my parents. But I understand that if I don't do this job, someone else will do it, but not on the same level as me. This is my motivation, my family.
Well, no matter how it may sound, when you perform combat tasks, it is the destruction of the occupant. For me, it brings the greatest satisfaction. That's the way it is.
Це, напевно, так і є.